kitties are fine and accounted for this morning. Nighttime. So 1 3/4 before midnight. It looks like just shy of 1 3/4 after midnight. So, yeah, we're gonna call it about 3.5 inches. Based on the lack of debris on the driveway, I'd say that we did not have a lot of wind here. We had a lot of rain, and we didn't have a lot of wind.
Well, Kitten's asked me to show you how you ride this thing, or take a ride down the driveway with the camera. So we start off. This is the fun part. I always enjoy this part right here, baby. The hill. Woo! Yeah! Not a lot of debris down, considering. Yeah. No trees. I don't see any trees down. That's always a good thing. Ah, there's the paper. But first, we always check the mailbox. Haha. Mail. Little spin around. Get the paper. It's a little wet. I think they deliver my paper like 2 o'clock in the morning. You think it used to come, I used to come about 6:15, but I've been out and have picked up my paper at 2 o'clock in the morning before. And the fact that this thing's wet, I think it was done raining by 6 this morning. I think it wasn't raining anymore. So I wonder how it got so wet if it wasn't there earlier. Yeah, it has to pull a little bit to get up that hill. And then we just slide over here to the door. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Here he is at his desk. I understand Mittens has made a few cat cameos during math class and art class.
Yes. Our art teacher asked us to find something that was like contrasting colors. So Mittens is a tuxedo cat, so she's a perfect example.
I agree. That's really cute. And apparently one of the teachers also has a cat that's made a cat cameo. So these are the things during COVID that you get in the classroom. It's going on 1 p.m. and I'm meeting Michelle up at Guardian Angel. I'm going to take Ruby. Yeah, nothing's plugged in because of the storm last night. You know, we had charged in advance and then unplugged the vehicles. We did have a power blip, although we never really lost power because the only thing that showed the power blip was the oven in the kitchen, which is the most sensitive device we have. Good afternoon, Ruby. I turned around today. Hopefully we'll get a cool cloud time lapse. Here are my favorite girls. Hi. Well, it's not a ton of Lego pieces, only 144, but it's a decent price, so I'm gonna pick it up. I think it's never been opened. I found these cute cat holiday earrings, but I might turn one of them into a necklace. They do articulate, the little feet move. There are just a couple of Christmas in July items out. Not a lot, but a few. A ton of stuff to choose from and lots of fabrics I liked, but nothing that's gonna work. What are we finding?
Just an old TV Guide cup.
Oh, wow.
Laura. You know,
Wow. So that's all soaps.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
Well, Bewitched.
Oh, Lucy.
Yep.
Way cool.
And Sonny and Cher. Oh, you did a great job.
Quite vintage. Wow, look at that. That is a great find. I love it. That's awesome. Good deal on some poster paper and a storage bin and just a couple things today. Next week. It's good to see you too. I got one more week before school starts back.
I think, yeah, I think
so. Okay. Well, it's good to see you. Bye. It was really good to see those guys. It's 2:35. I'm gonna play a little pogo, but mostly just head back to the house. In local Tesla news, the new sales and service center had some water come in off the roof in the rain yesterday. They should have had about 3 inches like we did, but still, that's a significant amount of rain. And, you know, there was just some safety concerns, so they closed today. And there are guys there repairing the roof, and they're planning to reopen tomorrow. So it doesn't sound super bad. Sounds like they can handle it, but they did have to clean up a little bit of water that got in yesterday. So as you know, we have an appointment for Ruby next week, and Dawn actually did schedule an appointment for Jules just to see if they have any thoughts on the noise, the creak, the squeak from the front dashboard area. It's a minor but annoying thing. So at any point, I don't know that that will push us out, but if they need to reschedule, they need to reschedule. We certainly, either one of us could wait an extra day or two if we need to, certainly over somebody else that has a car that's undrivable or something. So you're always so helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome, sweetie.
Donnie, what in the world is going on over here?
Well, you know, we had that little threat from
Please, whoever's responsible for names, don't put names in there the majority of people can't pronounce. Please be kinder.
So we had charged up our 3 7.5 amp hour 56 volt Ego batteries plus our 5 amp hour Ego battery and our 2 amp. We charged them all up to 100%. And so this is one of the things about this Nexus power station that isn't particularly good. It's not really appropriate for storage because after 30 days it discharges the batteries down to about 50%. So that of course extends the life of the batteries, but you don't ever know when your power is going to fail. So that's kind of a bummer. So we charge them up to 100% right before when we know something's coming. But now that it's gone, there's no reason to keep them charged at 100% because in 30 days it's just going to discharge them to 50%. So I said, well, I might as well, while I'm out here in the garage during peak hours, 23 cents a kilowatt hour, I might as well run my air conditioner off of my Nexus power station. So I put it up here and I'm basically going to run them down to 50%. And right now, only one light's out of 5, so they're down 20%. And it says we've got an hour left. When I plugged it in, it had right at 2 hours. So, it's like an hour and 40 minutes, but it's been falling and I wasn't watching it. And the compressor is running wide open. So I've got it set for 75 because I want it to, I'm out here, I want it to be nice and cool while I'm burning the battery. So I'm just going to keep an eye on it. I set a timer on Alexa. And so when the timer goes off, I'll come over here and check and see what they are. And when they get close to 50%, I'll probably turn it off and just plug the air conditioner back into the standard outlet.
And now this looks like some sort of a little project board. What is going on over here?
Right, so these little pucks, these are UL listed. I paid extra for that. They're called Shelby ones. And they allow you to control using an app on your phone or A or G voice commands this little device. So when Mary and I come out in the garage, we want to be able to tell A to turn the lights on in here.
Well, more importantly, if I do something, it's kind of like going into the grocery store without thinking you don't need a cart. That's the stupidest thing I've ever done because I've never not needed a cart, but I try to outsmart myself sometimes. Well, sometimes I pop into the garage for something and I don't think I need the light on, and then I'm doing something. It's actually, you know, multiple times. It's a long walk back over there to the outlet. There's no outlet on this side of the garage. It's only by the door.
Right.
So I want to be able, after I've messed myself up, to tell her to turn them on without having to, while I'm in the middle and my hands are full and I'm frustrated.
Right.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is, you can update the firmware on these things, and this is my first time fooling with them, and I have 4 of them, and I'm going to hook them up, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to practice a little bit with it. So I've got my standard light socket, and I'm going to put a little incandescent bulb in it, and I'm going to put I got 2 3-ways, because it will also control 3 ways. So using your existing light switches. Oh, so I left out
the most important part.
Yeah, this thing, you just slip this one into the back of your box, the wall box, and you wire it in, and it'll control 3-way or regular toggle switch. So I'm going to start with just a simple on-off switch, and then I'm going to rewire it for a 3-way, and just make sure I understand how it does, because you do have to change the wires on the switches themselves. You know, there's a common and then 2 travelers, and I forget, the instructions tell you what you have to do. You have to basically make sure, well, you may not have to rewire anything. Let me be very clear. Depends on how conscientious your electrician was. If he did the traveler, if he crossed the travelers, then you're good. If he didn't cross the travelers, then you're going to have to unwire the 2 travelers and swap them. So the common's fine, but the 2 travelers, you may have to flip it, and because it doesn't really matter which traveler is what. It has to do with, you know, when your switches are up or down in the wall, so which way the travelers go. Anyway, so long story short, I'm going to figure all that out. Cool.
I can't wait to have a control in the garage, because I'm so used to it in the house. Even yesterday I wanted to use it, so.
Yes, I have to tell you, I miss it when I don't have it. That is exactly right.
I did the hard part. I did all the taping and the, you know, detail work. It's a little, one of those little fairy garden houses. But it was pink on top. You can sort of see the pink color underneath, so I guess I'm gonna go back with what it was. Will you paint it for me, please? You're the one with the work clothes on.
Yeah, I'm gearing up and putting my plastic bags on.
I don't have the patience to spray without streaks. I need you.
Yeah, well, I'll do my best, sweetie.
It's almost the same color pink.
I think you're right.
I thought about painting it with nail polish, but sometimes that, if it's not wet enough, if it's a little old, it's a little dry, it doesn't flow good. Anything you did will be better than what it was. All right, make it work for me. Cool. So the center light, as in that light right there.
Right. Is going to be controlled by this little device. I've updated the firmware, which was no problem, this little blue thing. So this little device is going to have to be put into the outlet, the wall.
The switch plate.
Switch box, that's right. So you can control it locally with the switch, just like always. This is the standard single pole, single throw switch. Nothing complicated there. You can turn it on and then say, Alexa, turn off center.
Okay.
And it'll turn it off. And you can turn it back on. Or you can turn it, what is it? Alexa, turn off center.
Okay.
Alexa, turn on center.
Okay.
And you turn it off.
Way cool.
So, you have local control with the switch, and you have voice control. So, and this is this little gizmo is Well, you can get it as for as cheap as about $10. I got 4 of them, the UL listed ones, which are more expensive. I got 4 of them, I think, were for $45. The shipping was a little steep on because they're made in Bulgaria. They have a U.S. distributor. I ordered through Amazon, but it wasn't Amazon Prime.
And it's Shelly.
Shelly.
Not Shelby.
I've been on lot, but yeah, Shelly. Yes.
Don tries to add extra.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Oh, sorry. And so I ordered 4 of them because the shipping was kind of flat rate. So I figured, well,
you don't want to have to turn around and
right.
order another one for the project.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they have an app you can control it from your phone.
Yeah, this is one where you have to put a skill on Alexa
right.
to get it to work. No big deal, but
yeah. So
we have Casa and Shelly and Blink and
EW Link.
yeah, we have a few skills now.
Yeah.
So thank goodness for LastPass. We probably should type up a description like we put this app on Dawn's phone and it's, you know, Dawn's email and user ID, and the Blink one Marianne set up and it's on her phone. And
right now the only thing I found a little funny about this is and I could have done it cleaner. Okay, I want to be very clear, but I ended up you have to have a neutral, which is no big deal, but normally a neutral does not run to, you run the hot, but the neutral is always in the box. But so in this case with a 3-way, it may not always be a neutral in a box at a remote switch, but the neutral was no problem, but it actually took 3 hot wires. It took the hot wire that powers this device, the hot wire that goes into the device, and a little dry contact switch, a relay in here, closes and turns on the light, and then and then of course basically this blue wire is the hot wire goes over to the switch. In this case I used the blue wire from the other side of the switch to go to the little device so it can sense the status of the switch. So effectively you know that's sort of a pain, but I can probably get it down to just 2 wires and then just kind of jumper it, you know, like run a wire over here to the switch and then run 1 wire from the switch to the hot over here and then continue on to the light. Anyway, the point is I was a little disappointed that it took all that, but that's because it
needs power itself.
It needs power itself, but also this is a dry contact. This is not a SCR or a triac or anything like that. It's not a solid state switch. It's actually a little relay, so you can actually have controlled DC things. It'll actually run off at DC. There's a jumper in here you can put to run the whole thing off, but you could run it off of AC. And let's say this was your garage door, you could use this. It would press your garage door button opener and turn on your garage door with, you know, just like the little doorbell button on the wall. So they, you know, they separate, and because of that, it needed the extra wire in this case. It's rated at 10 amps, I think, so it's pretty powerful.
So Don's connected up the one that's for the 3 lights on the left side, and he's fixing to take a break, probably go for a run. Don't be pokey.
I won't be pokey. I got my podcast and I'm going to start running.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Johnny's got Taekwondo in a few more minutes, so I'm gonna go for a drive. Don's out running, dinner's in the Instant Pot. I need to get Ruby out of the garage for Taekwondo anyway. A little more Pokemon. Don went past me and he waved and my battery died, but there he goes. Well, I don't know if it is done, but it looks done. It's painted and it's got shingles on it and turned out really nice. Wow, there's at least 3 deer there, and they are like really bold to be right around that person's house. Yes, you, I'm talking about you.